and welcome back to Living 757. During this pandemic, it's been so important that everyone lends a helping hand. And last week, Patricia caught up with Congresswoman Elaine Luria, who has been doing just that. Let's check it out.
So now I have the pleasure to introduce you. She's an American Democratic politician and Navy veteran, Congresswoman Elaine Luria. Welcome to Living 757.
Oh, well, thank you, Patricia, for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited that you have the time to share with us today and with all our viewers. Elaine, we saw each other during these past 2 months in different events during COVID-19. As a Congresswoman, has COVID-19 been affecting your life?
Well, Patricia, you're right. We've crossed paths quite a few times, specifically when we were up at the food bank in Hampton, where they were doing a large handout to the community, and then down on the south side in Virginia Beach with the Urban League of Captive Roads and other groups who were, both handing out food and doing testing and handing out safety supplies like masks. And so, it's really been important to get out in the community to understand what the need is, to hear from people around the community and how this is impacting them. And it's impacted me just like a lot of other folks. My daughter is 10, she's in 5th grade. So, while I'm trying to do my job and stay connected using technology to have a lot of different meetings and conferences and connect with folks all around the district, she's also here at home doing her schoolwork. And so, that has been a challenge for a lot of parents to take on that extra role of being educators as well. And as far as the role of our jobs in Congress, I mean, when I'm in the district, I spend my time out and about connecting with people, so having to use technology to connect in different ways, but have spent a lot of time talking to small business owners, trying to understand the impacts of COVID on their businesses, how the payroll protection program can be helpful. Spend a lot of time on the phone with local elected officials, sheriffs, mayors, county commissioners, people in the faith community. I think it's really important to hear from our pastors and our clergy to understand, because they really have one-on-one contact and understand really closely what people are going through. So I just spend a whole lot of time, staying connected, but using technology to do that, and keep doing our job so that we can hear from the community and take that to Washington to represent people.
This has been amazing, and like you just mentioned it, I saw you firsthand working so hard trying to help the food bank. Let's talk a little bit about that, your work with the food bank.
Well, I really appreciate all of the entities within the community that are out there, helping so hard to get food to people who need it. And you were there as well. I mean, you saw the line just didn't stop, and they had to turn people away. So it's truly people who a few weeks or a month ago, had a job and an income and never would have thought that they needed that service. So it's so appreciated that the food bank can chip in and do that. It's also very important that, the day we were there in Hampton handing out fresh food and vegetables, that is something that comes through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and I advocated very strongly to make sure that could go to everyone, because before this happened, there were a lot of restrictions on who could receive those fresh fruits and vegetables. And now we know that, the farmers, and, I'm advocating now that our fishermen and our watermen can provide seafood products as well to be part of that, because there's supply out there that's not being used because the schools aren't serving lunches in the school buildings, and the restaurants are closed or reduced capacity. And, we really want to connect that resource with the people who need it in the community. So I've been working very hard on trying to help with that.
How people can help the community, like if anybody wants to help?
Well, I think that, one of the things going back to the very beginning of this is that I think we can each individually help by trying to stop the spread. So, taking that personal responsibility of following the guidelines for social distancing, stay home when you can, wear protective masks when you're out in public and around other people. And, like they said from the beginning, use sanitizer, wash your hands, and, try to stop the spread of COVID, because that's one of the things that, will help us get through this, is to see a declining number of cases.
And I think we saw it for the past 2 months, a lot of people coming with new ideas, and we had to be creative. But thank you so much, Elaine Luria, for your time. I know you're working so hard. Like you just mentioned at the start of the interview, you're also a mom, working at home, Congresswoman. So you're doing it all. I don't know how to do it, but yes, you're doing it all. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Patricia. And, if people want to follow our work, or we like to share all the information that we can about the federal programs and the legislation that's coming out. So at Rep. Elaine Luria is our official handle. Please follow that and share it with your friends and family to get updates on information from Washington and about our congressional district.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time once again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh my
Awesome.
gosh. I just have to say that as a brand new mom who's working at home and doesn't have to teach my kids school, it's a lot to work and take care of your kids. So thank you to her because she has really been out in the community helping so much. And I know that's got to be difficult.
Absolutely, and we appreciate Patricia getting that interview,
Yeah.
and for Elaine taking her time. It is so good to see our elected officials out and visible, making an impact in our community. In fact, just like the summer season is coming up, the impact will certainly be noticeable by us all. I'm stumbling over my words because we got to get ready to use that AC unit. So I'd like to welcome Kendall Buckner from AC Masters. How you doing today, Kendall?
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Again, my man.
I'm doing all right. We're still, we're getting ready for that season to kick up.
Yeah. And now that the summer is approaching, what tips do you have for running our ACs? I'm sure there's many.
Yeah, there's a few, but today I'm going to highlight three of them. One of the biggest ones for us, for our customers, is we want to make sure you change your air filters regularly. Your system really depends on airflow to function, and a dirty air filter is not going to help your system do that. And if you get low airflow, that means your system's going to work harder. That means it's going to be less efficient. So for you, that's going to be more wear and tear on your system and higher energy bills. My second tip is, when you're in there in your thermostat, we want you to put your fan on auto instead of just leaving it on all the time. Now, I know that's tempting. You want that cold air cycling all the time, but putting your fan on auto means that the fan itself is going to cycle off. That's going to allow your system to drain away some of the moisture that's going to show up in the system. And that way your air is going to be less humid in your house, and it's going to help you prevent some of the mold and other water issues. And the last one, of course, is routine maintenance. We're an HVAC company. Our techs come out there, we're going to touch the system, we're going to help keep it clean, we're going to help keep it well maintained, and that's going to make it more energy efficient, and that's going to save you money on costly repairs. Those are my three.
Awesome. Now, speaking of costly repairs, are there warning signs that people should look out for that would indicate that they have a problem with their air conditioning?
Yes, there actually are. There's really two different types. One of the most obvious ones, of course, is when your system doesn't work. If you've got warm room temperature air coming out of your returns or no airflow at all, that's a good warning sign. But some of the other ones that you might notice, unusually high energy bills, maybe your unit cycling on and off frequently. Of course, with the hotter air coming in or the hotter temperatures, it's going to cycle on more, but it shouldn't be cycling continuously. So if you hear something like that, and just pay attention to it. Unusual, unpleasant odors, odd noises, signs of a leak. And one of the big ones for us that a lot of our customers call in when they're in trouble is they'll see ice forming on the unit. So if you see any of those, it's important to get in touch with a service company like us. That way we can help take care of you.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's definitely great information, and we're going to bring on another one here shortly. But I know that you guys are able to come out to the homes during the pandemic to also keep us safe. So that is definitely something that we want to feel comfortable with as customers.
Thank you so much for that. Now, one of Kendall's technicians also happens to be part of the National Guard, and he is with us today too. So we want to welcome Scott.
Well, he's more than just a tech. He's a service manager.
Oh, you're the service manager. My bad.
I don't want to demote him just because he's not here.
Can you tell us a little bit about your work with the National Guard?
We're in support of the Fredericksburg Food Bank for the remaining time being on duty. Didn't notice how much of a need food was until I got up here, and we're servicing anywhere between or feeding anywhere between 100 families a day to 800 families a day. So we're putting food out.
Wow. Well, thank you for keeping everyone fed. That's crazy.
And can you talk a little bit about AC Masters donating to your unit?
Absolutely. When we first came on orders, PPE, the face mask and gloves were kind of scarce, and so I reached out to them, and they said they would donate. I think it was 2,000 pairs of gloves and 16 masks to support the team that I'm with.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And it's been nice having those gloves and the mask. So
Yeah, and then the ones we gave you had the filters too. So, anything we can do to help support you out there and what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's always a good thing. I think when you can give back to the community and to people in need. So,
yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of what we do is, taking care of customers, helping folks out, being comfortable and being safe in certain situations, but, helping out men and women of the armed services and what they're doing is a big privilege for us. And so we're glad we were able to contribute.
Absolutely. You guys are right there on the front lines with all the healthcare workers, in my opinion. You guys are going into homes, making sure that people can stay safe while they're staying home, making sure they can stay cool. And you guys feeding all the families, that's just phenomenal. So thank you guys.
Oh, absolutely. It's our pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being a part of the show today. And now coming up next, we are going to switch gears from wellness in your AC systems to wellness tips with DETOX Dandy. You guys stay right here. This pro tip is brought to you by AC Masters.